are expecting some breaks in it, some sun to shine through this morning, with temperatures eventually getting up into the mid to upper 40s. Right now, they're in the mid to upper 30s here in downtown North Conway. In the studio now, I am joined by Steve Nichipor, who is the Canopy Tour Director at Omni Mount Washington Resort. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good to be here. Thank you.
And of course, you've been doing that all summer, but also we've got skiing to look forward to in
That's right.
the very near future.
Hopefully in a few days. Absolutely.
Let's start with the Canopy Tour,
please.
Because even though you've been running it all summer, this is actually a year-round activity now, right?
It is, and we get that question all the time is, wow, so how late in the year do you run?
Right.
Well, we run every day. Today we have, I think, 7 groups going out on the mountain, tomorrow 5, and it just rolls right through the winter.
So how does it work for someone who's never seen the Canopy Tour or experienced it? And actually, what I'm going to do right here is we're going to activate some footage in the background. Maybe you can tell us what we're looking at. What is the Canopy Tour?
Well, one of the cool things about our Canopy Tour is that it is something that you're very involved in as you're participating. So we actually teach you some skills. You slow yourself down at the end of every zip. If you don't make it, you have to pull yourself in the rest of the way. So you're really involved in the experience. And but it builds gradually. So it works really well for people that are freaked out, and it works well for people that are pretty used to adventurous activities.
Because I would imagine when you're talking about zip lining, you're actually suspended from a cable flying from tree to tree, essentially. So you must get people who are a little bit nervous.
Most people are nervous. That is something we definitely expect, and that really adds to the experience. There's very few people that are not at all nervous. But you've got a climbing harness on, you've got zip trolleys, you've got 2 3/8-inch steel cables, and you've got guides hooking you into those on either end of the zip.
So it's safe. It's just a matter of kind of overcoming your own fears, I guess.
That's a big part of it, and that's sort of what adds to the experience for people is overcoming that.
So how does it actually work? How many zip lines do you have? And if someone wants to come do a zip line, how does it start?
Well, we take reservations, so we go at scheduled times throughout the day, depending on how busy we are. We usually have morning and afternoon tours. In the summer, we just run straight through the day. Every half hour, we start a tour. Call and reserve, it's 278-4947, which is 4-zip.
And here we finally have the footage going.
Go. Nice.
I don't know if Hans can take that.
So this is one of the bigger zips. Once you get into the middle of the course and you get used to it, you get onto these big zips where you're 50, 60 feet up in the air. This one is about 500 feet long. And you can see you go through these tight corridors through the trees, which is part of the experience. And
it is what it is. It's a canopy tour, so you're actually flying through the canopy.
You are right up in the canopy of the trees, and we start close to the ground. So at the beginning, you're only a few feet up, but as you can see, you're well, that one you're pretty high, 100 feet up or so. The biggest one, you're about 180 feet up in the air.
100 feet up in the air, and of course, you're going past the legendary views of Bretton Woods, which include Mount Washington.
Absolutely. We have some gorgeous views right from the start. When you get off the chairlift, when the chairlift is open right from the restaurant, skiers certainly know that view if they've been up there. And as you go through, you kind of work through the forest, work into some nice old growth trees, and at the end you come out in those panoramic views overlooking the Mount Washington Hotel, overlooking Mount Washington and the presidentials.
So you get people who are nervous at the beginning. What are they saying at the end?
They're psyched. I mean, no matter what level they started on in terms of nervousness, they're just all psyched. And even the ones that say, I was so scared I'll never do that again, which is surprisingly very few people, like 1 in 1,000 probably. Even they're saying, well, that was just awesome. I'm really glad I did it.
I have only actually done zip lines once before, and it was in a foreign country, but it was one of the most exhilarating experiences I've ever had, so I can't wait to do the Canopy Tour at Bretton Woods.
And it runs in any weather, too, which is great. Whether it's rain, snow, wind, we can pretty much handle it all, and as long as you dress for it, people have a great time out there.
What age group can do it?
Minimum age is 12, and minimum weight is 90 pounds. Maximum weight is 250. And you have to fit in the harness, which people in that range can usually fit in the harness.
And as you mentioned, it is year-round. So if someone wants to make a reservation for their family or just as a couple, what should they do?
They call our reservation line, 603-278-4-ZIP, or 4947, and someone's there 8 to 4 every day of the week to take the reservation.
All right, so that's the Canopy Tour over at the Omni Mount Washington Resort. And we mentioned that the resort is home to Bretton Woods Ski Area,
Yes.
which is, when are you going to open?
Hopefully next week, in a few days. Wow. We were trying last week. We had a few good days of snowmaking. You might have seen on the website a few first turns made up on the summit. Not quite enough to open yet. So once it cools off again, which is probably tonight, we're going to go for it again.
So the snow guns have probably been blasting every opportunity up there.
Every single opportunity for the last week or so, which is, it's been pretty cold, so
all right,
it's looking good.
Bretton Woods, big news this year. You've got some new terrain opening?
We do, and that is definitely exciting for a lot of local skiers here. The new glades on Mount Stickney, which is a long-awaited expansion that we've been talking about for several years, and it's finally starting to happen. So it's about 30 acres of glades.
Wow.
Variety of pitch. It's sort of the open manicured glades that you expect at Bretton Woods. So
which are the kind of glades that I like. Because
yeah.
if you are Bretton Woods is great for a lot of things, but it's the perfect mountain for me because I want to be a glade skier.
Yeah.
I want to, I want to get into the glades. I want to look like I'm in a Warren Miller film, but I'm just not up to that level yet. And you guys have some really challenging glades, but you also have the option of some tamer glades for people like me, so I can kind of work my way into it. I'm not kind of just thrown into the fire.
Absolutely, and they're nice and open.
Yep.
There's trees, but they're not packed really close together. You can see a line, and generally the snow stays pretty nice in there. We do get a good bit of snow. Absolutely.
Speaking of snow, Bretton Woods, you seem to always have natural snow falling no matter what time it is,
it's amazing.
Month of the year it is, October.
We call it the snow globe. So you come in, I live in Bartlett, drive into work, and it's maybe even blue sky.
Yep.
You get up there and it's snowing, and there's, who knows? I've been surprised by 8 inches at times.
Yeah, you can see, sometimes from North County, you can look at Mount Washington, you can see it, it's in the clear, sunny skies everywhere. You look to the west, there's a bank of clouds just butted up to the western side of Mount Washington.
Like this morning.
Yep. Probably go up there and it's probably snowing.
And maybe it's snowing, yeah.
And I've seen also when it's been raining here in the valley, and you just drive up Crawford Notch and you're like, this is a wasted drive. It's going to be raining everywhere. As soon as you get to the top of Crawford Notch, all of a sudden it was snow. It was amazing.
Yeah, it is awesome. One cool thing I should mention with the skiing and Canopy Tour is that we have a zip and ski ticket, which we had last year. We're doing it again this year. $129. You ski one day and you do the Canopy Tour an adjacent day. So pretty good deal for people that want to do both or try both.
And do you still have is it the Willow? Is that what it's called?
We still have the Willow Racing Zip. Yep.
So if you want to just kind of have a small taste of the zip line, you can check that out.
Yep, that one opens Thanksgiving weekend, runs right through the ski season. Weekends only during the winter. It's open every day in the summertime. And Thanksgiving weekend, we also have the homecoming weekend. So a lot of events going on besides the Willow opening up. It's very exciting. There's the new Warren Miller movie is showing. We have a beer tasting. The parks have a big event that weekend, which I'm not a big park skier, but what the park guy tells me, it is a mashup of snowboarding and basketball, or skiing and basketball.
Huh.
Basically freestyle basketball. You figure it out. I know he's been working on some new features up there.
It's worth going just to see what
I think it'll be cool.
This is. Yeah.
I think it's a bunch of skiers, snowboarders with basketballs, sliding down rails and stuff. Sounds pretty cool.
I want to see this. I want to see how they combine basketball and terrain park elements. This will be fun. Steve Nichipor from the Omni Mount Washington Resort, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
Have we left anything out? Oh, we did leave something out, something very important. You brought a pair of tickets to give away.
So we're going to give those away. I don't know what. So you've got a little raffle or a...
What are these for?
These are 2 tickets for the Canopy Tour. So 2 people can come anytime they want. There's a date on it.
No kidding.
It's probably about a year from now.
So just call, make your reservation, 2 people for free.
Tell them you won the gift certificate, and if you win this contest.
This is a great prize, and usually the phones start to ring before we even finish, before we even show the question. The question now, and that's a little bit of this is kind of the match game. What you see on your screen, there are 4 weather statistics for the summit of Mount Washington in the month of October, the month that just passed. Below are the 4 numbers associated with those statistics. So we want you to match. We've got average temperature, average wind speed, total snowfall, and days with wind over 73 miles per hour. Again, this is for the summit of Mount Washington as measured by the observatory in the month of October that just passed. So call us, tell us the average temperature is blank. And then this might take a while, but we've got a great prize. 2 passes to the Omni Mount Washington Resort Canopy Tour zip lines. Let's go to the phones. Good morning, Watch and Win. You want to give it a shot?
Yeah.
Okay, let's put the graphic up on the screen. And let's start with average temperature. What do you think it is?
27.
Average temperature, 27 degrees, is correct. Let's go to average wind speed. What do you think?
39.
39 is correct. And let's go to total snowfall.
13.
No, you were close, but not 13. So you've helped someone else immensely. Try it again. Thank you. So we've got the first 2. If you were paying attention, we can get through this. For 2 tickets to the Bretton Woods Canopy Tour, 356-6619. Good morning, Watch and Win. What's your answer? What's the average temperature?
27.
Correct. Average wind speed is?
39.
Correct. Average snowfall is?
20.
Correct. And the days with winds over 73 miles per hour?
13.
Absolutely. Who is this?
This is Brenda.
Brenda, congratulations. Have you done the Canopy Tour before?
No, I have not. I'm excited.
Are you excited? How excited are you?
Very excited.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
I'd say 10.
All right, there you go. You can't get more excited than that.
You can't, no.
Some people will say 11, 12, but you can't get more than 100%.
We're used to exceeding expectations, but on 1 to 10 scale, that's pushing it.
All right, Steve, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
If people want more information, what's the web address and phone number?
BrettonWoods.com.
BrettonWoods.com is all you need to know.
It's got everything on it.
All right. And if someone doesn't have internet access and wants to do the old dialing thing?
Sure. 603-278-4ZIP.
All right, Steve from the Omni Mount Washington Resort. We'll be back with more on White Mountains Today.